and I have given this over. Well, my son's here with me today. My son's here, and also my gremlins. My gremlins are here. Uh, this one here is Argus, and this one here is Sunny. Sunny gremlin. Yep, two gremlins. And so what happens? What I'll be doing is just kind of telling you a quick detail of what happened. So anyway, so I spent the whole day fixing. I went and I cleaned out the coolant yet again. I did the coolant flush. Got rid of the coolant because at first I found brown sludge in it, and the brown sludge said when you mix coolant, so I had to drain it all out and drain all the coolant out. And yes, I put it in an appropriate bucket. If you look at my video, I'm going to put up later, you'll see that. Then after that, I put a bucket to give zone and to give that back to them. And so I did that, drained into that. I had to drain the container. Then I ran water through it. Several times, turned the engine on. Oh, before I did that, I had to put there was a cleaner type thing in there. Hey, how you doing? I put a cleaner type thing into the engine, and what ended up happening was I when I did that, it cleaned out the engine of all its gunk, and that was great. So I was glad for that. So then the next thing that happened was I let it run. I turned the car and let it run for more than 20 minutes, and I let it run. Then after that, what ended up happening was well, there's always a gremlin somewhere hidden in the car, and that's why I have these gremlins here to represent the fact that there's there's always a gremlin that you don't know, just kind of hidden in the car. And so what ended up happening was I let it run through. It held steady. I was really happy about that. Then after that, I drained it all out, and ran water through it, drained it all out twice. And then after that, I put the coolant into the orange one. And after I put the orange coolant in it, what ended up happening was the car seemed to be fine. And I went driving. Yes, the gremlins did do it, or maybe they tried to fix it and it just got worse. I don't know, but one of them did it. It's like pretty much I have Argus is here, and he's been kind of riding with me, just kind of laughing. And then this one here, Sunny was here trying his best. Sunny was trying his best to to try and fix it, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the way it is. They're not meant to fix cars. Maybe they're airplane thingies. Airplanes supposed to fix airplanes. So what ended up happening was what ended up happening was I continued to try and fix it, and I went to DoorDash tonight. Went to go drive DoorDash, and when I went out to the drive, we did 2 orders, and then the car started to overheat again, and it started to overheat one more time. So then I was like, oh dag, I gotta stop it. So then I stopped it, and this is about 80th Street. Where I live is not too far away. But anyway, so I was able to drive. Um, no, I didn't take it to Zombie Gathering because I don't think gremlins and zombies are friends. I think gremlins are mechanical something and zombies are just the undead. So, but that's the horde of the undead zombies. I think gremlins and zombies don't mix. But I mean, hey, you know what? Send me a line. Let me know next time. Anyway, so what happens is I might go because I always I brought my gremlins to the elf lot, and so the elf lot was really cool. They totally enjoy them. And anyway, so if you get a chance to do the elf lot, that's pretty cool. Anyway, so what I'm saying is the car was overheating. I had to cool it down, and I had to end my dash for the night. And so pretty much it's just been one of those things. Definitely, if you guys want to send me any super chats, that would be really good because we have been just, by the grace of God, just going through stuff. So anyway, and God's been helping us through it, but for the most part, though, if you guys can do that, that'd be great. Nevertheless, we spent a lot of money trying to fix this car, and still in the same situation as we were before. So I'm sitting in my car trying to figure out what to do next because I'm just at my wit's end. Next time I'm listening to sensors. Oh, let me show you all the codes, by the way. These are the codes that came up, right? You can't really see. Let's show it here. This is the codes that came up when I ran the codes. Code 715. Code zombie took a cell phone. Oh, that's cool. You got the code 715. It's code 733. A zombie took a cell phone. All right. And so code 731, code 732, code 700, code 700. And what happened was that when I went to when I stopped for a second, I went actually over to 7-Eleven, and I put in another type of coolant to that gathering. Took a cell phone to the gathering. You went to a zombie took a cell phone. Maybe, I don't know. It's possible. Oh, was that? Oh, was that what you're talking about with the thing with it? Well, that's different. I had another yeah, pretty much I had another gremlin. I had Thanatos with me at the other gathering. This one here, the one that was here, I took him for the most recent one. I see. Yeah. So anyway, so what happens? So these are the codes, and so for code 715 is that it's a turbine. Turbine speed's messed up. 733 is gear 3. 731 is gear 1. 732 is gear 2. 700 and 700 twice is a transmission code. So when I put the new Yeah, the body painting. Yeah, the body painting. I did that. The transmission codes was I added some new transmission fluid to the car because when I drained the coolant out of the car, actually when I changed the radiator, a lot of the radiator transmission fluid came out. And so yeah, he was also there. He was at the. I haven't posted any videos of the most recent one. So videos that you've seen of the last body painting. I'm wearing the body painting shirt right here, by the way. So but the most recent one that I went to, I haven't posted any videos of that yet. I posted a couple of pictures on my Instagram. So if you look at my Instagram, One Life Must Start, you'll see that some of the stuff that I have there. But as for like the videos I haven't posted any videos because all the videos are like really long form and they're kind of like pretty much how to like painting type things that how to paint a person with it. But so it's not really some of the videos that you saw that were shorter, 2 minute ones. I had to cut it down just so you could have a 2 minute blurb, just so I can upload it because it takes thinking forever to load anything onto YouTube. So I was able to cut it down to 2 minutes and send it up there. I have a couple more videos to share too, so I might send you a couple ones, or I might show you a couple more videos in a little bit. But for the most part, though, my situation is the car. And this thing with the car has been pain because it has been a pain. And this car is how I pretty much make money. If I'm not making these guys, I'm not making and selling these guys, I'm driving this car. So right now, in between them, I have two commissions that I'm working on right now. But at the same time, though, I am also, driving this car. So definitely keep in your prayers because it's like, we are at wit's end. And I've been at this for days now, trying to fix this car. And so even though I'm very proud of the fact that I was able to take apart the radiator and I'm proud that I'm able to refill it and to fix all the little problems to it. Um, yeah, I have. That's exactly what I do. I actually have been using that. I've been using that exactly. Everything I've done is because I learned it on YouTube. I've learned everything to fix this car on YouTube, and then I also have a mechanic my neighbor next door who kind of looks over and gives me a hand every so often when I just can't figure it out. Like for example, when I was doing the tune-up there was a tune-up. I was able to do the front spark plugs, no problem. Change the wires, no problem. It's the back spark plugs. We had to take away the manifold. Again, another video that I kind of put on my Patreon, so you guys can see that because it's like the Patreon account. I'm trying to see if I get that going. But for the most part, though, it's a video has been one of those things where it's like you are I had help with that one for the what's my train of thought for the spark plugs. When I changed the spark plug and did a tune up and changed the air filter, I learned a lot of that through the through YouTube. But when I did the radiator, definitely through YouTube. When I did the windshield wiper, how to replace the windshield wiper array and the system of that was YouTube. Learn how to let's see what else. Oil change was YouTube. And it just my make and model of my car was I was able to look it up. And so my car is kind of a really old car, which is great. And so because can't be hacked by the machines. However, because you have an old car, you have old car with old parts, and so you have to find out ways to get old parts. And believe it or not, we just did like a 700-mile trip, and it was no problem. We drove, and it was stayed cooler than it was getting hotter. So it was kind of like I guess the speed we were going was able to maintain. No, it's that's not super old. That is super old, but it's like ours is 1990, 1990s our car. Oh, no, sorry, 2000 Dodge Caravan, and that's the car I'm driving. The car I had before was a 1999 Plymouth Voyager, and it's exactly the same look and feel of this one, except for the doors and power windows. But this car has been one of those things. So we thank God for just the fact that this car has been. We got this car like for $500. And I must have said it like 100 times, but this car we got it for $500, and it was like $500 at I was walking by and I saw this the same car. Could just got rid of a car. We were a year and a half without a car, and then we walked by and we saw this car, and I was like, oh my goodness, that was so cool. Oh yeah, no, the diagnosis device does work on the car. See, I have a diagnosis device. Let me show you. This is my diagnosis device that I have in my car, and this is the one I use too. Because what happened when we went to camp 2 years ago, about 3 years ago, we had a situation where we got to check engine light, and it freaked us out. And so we have the thing. So I'm thinking it's going to be a sensor. I'm right now at the point where I'm just thinking it's a sensor problem. Because what happens with the sensors, you're always faced with like trying to put things together and make sense because because sometimes a trip sensor can actually just really mess you up. So that's kind of where I'm at with the whole thing because if you have it where, just trying to figure out what it is, I'm really thinking it's a sensor because I did everything exactly. I mean, there's nothing. We did the water pump. We did just going through the whole 9 yards. There's the you have the what do you call it? The thermostat. We changed I'm thinking maybe it's the cap. Maybe the fuel cap is not holding the pressure. That could be one. We also changed. I fixed up the reservoir. So like just going from top to bottom, it's like we changed the fuel cap. We did the reservoir, did the whole reservoir removal. We cleaned that. We changed the entire radiator in the front. We checked the lines. We did the oil change in the bottom. We did the water pump, did the thermostat. I did a coolant flush like 6 times. Pretty much, I have done everything I possibly can do. I did the oil change. I checked the oil, transmission fluid, all that stuff, and we are still at an overheating car. And the gremlins just sit here and laugh in my chest, and that's what they do because I'm just sitting here trying to figure out what the best thing to do to solve this problem. If anybody have any ideas, because I've been just kind of plugging in my information for my car and trying to figure it out. But for the most part, though, what I end up finding is that it's not solving a problem. I mean, it solves the problem for a little bit. Like, I mean, the car will start. I mean, I can start a car right now. It'll start, you know, and it'll work, and then it'll just all of a sudden the sensor, the fans. We replaced the ceiling fans, the radiator fans too as well. I had to put that back into place as well. I have an idea to pray and fast for an answer. That sounds like a good idea. It's like we surely in a situation where we are asking God for wisdom because it's like it doesn't seem to make sense. What's going on. It's weird. Like it's like it's a good idea. Just pretty much pray and fast and ask God for direction as to what to do because it's like we had struggled with the night market, trying to set up our art there at one time. I didn't even get you in details about that, but it was like we went there to set up, and then the cops moved us along, and that kind of cost us a whole night. That kind of really put us behind. Um, Read the scripture in every video when you close. I would say be strong, Lord, the power of His might. And then, so that's my Ephesians 6:10. So one of the things is like you have a situation where it's like we have we have struggle, and the Bible says that struggle makes you stronger. Let's see. I think I've seen a few videos that you've been having some troubleshooting going on in different areas of your life, and this is why I mentioned what I said to you. That's why I mentioned what I said to you. Troubleshooting. I've seen a few videos that you've been having some troubleshooting going on in different areas of your life, and that's why I mentioned what I said that to you. Well, I mean, there is a lot. Who doesn't have trouble? I mean, honestly, when you think about it, for the most part, though, it's like it's a simple fact. That's like, there's a lot. I'm doing a lot of things like all the time. So I mean, like, I'm either forming or sculpting or preparing or planning. But that's everybody. Everybody does the same thing, right? So you have it where it's like, you're faced with so many things. What do you do? So I'm kind of like just tired. Last time my wife and I we were just watching a movie. We were watching Sherlock Holmes with the Robert Downey Jr. The first one, Sherlock Holmes, and then the Sherlock Holmes Game of Shadows. And it was like it was pretty cool just to watch it. But it was like I know I have so much work to do. I have like 2 commissions to finish, and that's coming up real soon. So I'm really excited about that to get that done. But for the most part, though, it's like I'm just, the hardest thing too. It took us like when I started my YouTube videos, right? I started YouTube back in 2007, right? I started doing YouTube videos back 2007, so 2007, right? And then I really got serious with it in 2018. 2018, I started getting really serious with my YouTube videos. So what I did was that I started like to just really focus and get stuff done. So I did a couple of video game playthroughs and things like that, and it was just like one of those things where I got monetized. I finally got monetized in 2018. So like, how many years was that? That was like what, 11 years on YouTube before I actually got monetized. And then I lost my monetization, and then I finally got it back like this year. So that was like how many years? I had monetization for 1 year, 2018, and in that time, I was able to like raise up like almost $100, almost $100. And then so finally, because what happens when you get to a certain amount, you're actually able to raise your money. But for the most part, though, it's like it's just been interesting how this all been working out and how God's been opening doors and kind of showing me stuff. So one of the things like when you go from we weren't in this year's night market, so we weren't like invited into it this year, and so it was really messed up because a lot of our money comes from the night market stuff. And so what happened was when we were there, we had a situation happen last week where the cops came to kind of say get out, and we were like First Amendment and everything, and so we saw the same cop again, and we talked with him, and he's like, "Oh, how did it go?" Like, he didn't stick around to see if we left or not. And so we're like, okay. So I started asking all different park people different questions about what to do, and nobody seems to know what to do. So we went back again last week, and then we just set up our shop, and we just carried on as nothing happened. It was kind of like a hiccup. But for the most part, though, we just want to thank God that we had a chance to you know just to see how it works. But so it's working, right? So the car's working, but it's not working right. I got to figure out which sensor needs to be fixed, and so we'll go from there. So pretty much we'll see what happens, and I'm just gonna call it quits for the night. And I just want to say thank you so much for listening, and just knowing that it's worth a shot. Just keep trying. Don't give up. As a matter of fact, just keep doing. He says, because what happens eventually, you will do what you need to be done. So, because it's like I've been just trying to figure this out, and my family depends on this. But so just definitely keep us in prayer, and be strong in the Lord and the power of His might. The Bible says, "My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse trials. The testing of your faith produces patience. But let patience have a perfect work, that you may be perfect and entire." The Bible says, the King James says, uh, um, um, brethren, good. I totally messed it up now. Count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, knowing that testing of your faith produces patience. But let patience have a perfect work in you, perfect, entire, lacking in nothing. But if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and this shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven to the wind and tossed. Let that man think he shall receive anything of the Lord. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So what happens? You got to be certain about it. So there you go. There's a verse for you. There you go, Most. There's a verse for you. So okay. So if you're gonna ask for faith, you better believe it's gonna happen. So I worked on the car, and I'm very proud I got it done, and I was able to change the coolant, and I'm very happy about that. I just had to figure out whatever's wrong with it. Another day, another day. Give it another shot, okay? So anyway, so here we are. I just want to say good night. Thank you so much, my gremlins. This is Argus, and this is Sunny. And Sunny glows in the dark, so he's pretty cool. But you won't see him glow right now because it's not dark enough. All right, so peace and God bless, and talk to you soon. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I wish you all the best. All right, so God bless you. God bless you. Be strong in the Lord and the power of His might.